Yes, Fox 32 has investigated Henyard's use of a police security detail, taking officers off the street and costing thousands of dollars.
Several new developments in south suburban Dolton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial reports.
Tiffany Henyard, the self-proclaimed super mayor of Dolton, Illinois, has been making waves in the media lately, but not for the reasons you'd expect from someone who has built a brand around being a powerful and transformative. Instead, Henyard has found herself embroiled in a series of scandals that are shaking the very foundations of her political career. And now, her former ally and right-hand woman, Trustee Carmen Carlisle, has turned against her in a dramatic twist that has everyone asking, is this the beginning of the end for Tiffany Henyard?
You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances, while the township supervisor...
Imagine this: you're sitting at the helm of a small town with all the power and influence that comes with the title of mayor. You've got the spotlight, the control, and supposedly the trust of your community. But then, one by one, your closest allies start to abandon ship, leaving you alone to face the growing storm of controversy. That's exactly the scenario playing out in Dolton right now, with Henyard caught in the middle of a political drama that's more gripping than anything you'd find on primetime TV. Carmen Carlisle's decision to break away from Henyard wasn't just a quiet departure, it was a loud, public, and scathing rebuke. Carlisle, who had been Henyard's assistant before stepping up as a trustee, wasn't just some minor player in Henyard's administration, she was deeply entrenched in the mayor's operations. So when Carlisle turned around and accused Henyard of unethical and predatory behavior, it wasn't just another politician jumping ship, it was a full-blown betrayal.
I was saying, no, he's not employed by us. So you have got just this gyration.
But why now? Why, after years of supporting Henyard and being part of the very machine she now condemns, did Carlisle choose this moment to speak out? The timing isn't lost on anyone who's been following the saga. Henyard's administration has been under intense scrutiny for months, with allegations ranging from the misuse of public funds to outright corruption. Carlisle, who once stood by Henyard's side, is now positioning herself as a whistleblower, a move that's raising eyebrows and plenty of suspicion. For years, Henyard has projected an image of success, using taxpayer money to fund a lifestyle that many say is more fitting for a Hollywood celebrity than a small-town mayor. Lavish trips, extravagant spending, and a penchant for self-promotion have been the hallmarks of her time in office. But as the accusations piled up, so did the pressure. The FBI even stepped in, launching an investigation that could potentially bring down not just Henyard, but anyone associated with her.
Hey guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the People's Mayor and People's Supervisor.
And this is where Carlisle's sudden change of heart becomes especially intriguing. Up until recently, Carlisle was part of Henyard's inner circle, benefiting from the same perks and privileges that came with being close to the super mayor. But as the legal noose tightened around Henyard's administration, Carlisle seems to have decided that the best way to save herself is to jump ship and distance herself from the sinking vessel. Carlisle's accusations are damning. She claims that Henyard has manipulated employees, vendors, and residents, using her position not to serve the community, but to increase her influence and line her own pockets. For the past 2 years, Henyard has manipulated employees, vendors, and residents, using her position to increase her influence, all while projecting a false image of success. Funded by the hardworking taxpayers of Thornton Township in the village of Dolton, Carlisle wrote in a statement that left no room for ambiguity. This isn't just a case of political infighting, it's a full unexpose of the kind of behavior that could lead to criminal charges.
So that's one of the reasons I vote no when we go through our board packets. It's like, you know, some of this stuff, it's like you don't know exactly what it's for, and then when you ask a question, there's no answer.
But let's not forget, Carlisle herself isn't exactly squeaky clean. Her past is littered with its own share of questionable actions. There are allegations that she's been involved in shady dealings, and her tenure hasn't been without its own controversies. So, is she really the hero she's trying to paint herself as now? Or is this just a desperate attempt to avoid going down with the ship? Critics are quick to point out that Carlisle's newfound integrity seems a little too convenient. For years, she stood by Henyard, never questioning the lavish trips, the questionable spending, or the increasingly authoritarian style of leadership. It's only now, with the FBI breathing down her neck, that Carlisle's decided to take a stand. She's bailing on a sinking ship, one commentator wrote. Anyone that supported Henyard should be ousted. The sentiment is echoed by many who see Carlisle's move as less about doing the right thing and more about self-preservation.
Mr. Lacey is absolutely not guilty of all 9 counts. I believe he's cooperating. And if you cooperate, you have to admit your guilt first.
And then there's the matter of Henyard's response. True to form, Henyard didn't take Carlisle's betrayal lying down. In a public meeting, she didn't just dismiss Carlisle's claims, she outright ridiculed her, going so far as to coin a new nickname, Lying Carlisle. I think I'm going to get you a new nickname, Leon Carlisle, Henyard said, dripping with sarcasm as she addressed the packed audience. "I'm tired of everyone in here. There always has to be a show." And this isn't just a denial, it's a full-on attack, designed to discredit Carlisle and frame her as just another disgruntled former ally trying to cover her own tracks.
I am about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments, there won't be anything, it'll just be me addressing you guys to tell you what's going on.
But Carlisle isn't the only one jumping ship. Henyard's administration, once seemingly invincible, is starting to crumble from within. More and more allies are beginning to distance themselves from the embattled mayor, each hoping to avoid getting caught in the legal part. The FBI's investigation is expanding, and it's clear that Henyard's days of unchecked power are coming to an end. One of the most shocking allegations against Henyard involves her use of public funds for personal gain. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars spent on luxury hotels, first-class flights, and extravagant meals, all charged to the taxpayers. And it's not just Carlisle making these claims, the evidence is mounting, with records showing that Henyard and her entourage racked up over $100,000 in expenses in just a few short months. This isn't just poor financial management, it's outright abuse of power.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
And then there's the scandal involving the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, a charity that was supposedly set up to help cancer patients but has been accused of being little more than a front for Henyard to funnel money into her own pocket. The charity was given $10,000 from the township's funds, and the paperwork for its establishment was conveniently filed on the same day the payment was approved. It doesn't take a detective to see that something shady is going on here. But perhaps the most disturbing allegation against Henyard is the one involving her retaliation against political opponents. Take Valeria Stubbs, for example, a former trustee who dared to criticize Henyard's leadership. Stubbs claims that Henyard orchestrated a campaign of harassment against her, culminating in a terrifying incident where bullets were sprayed at her home. Stubbs is convinced that Henyard was behind the attack, a chilling accusation that, if true, could be the final nail in the coffin for Henyard's political career.
I think you should pay everybody. Is it the reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts. That's what it's for. You do that.
As the legal pressures mount, the question on everyone's mind is who will be next to turn on Henyard? Will more of her allies come forward, hoping to save themselves from the fallout? Or will they stick by her side, hoping against hope that she can weather the storm? The drama in Dolton is far from over. And as the investigation continues, the potential for more explosive revelations looms large.
They knew what they were doing, and they thought they can get away with it.
And let's not forget about the public's reaction to all of this. Dolton's residents aren't just angry, they're furious. The sense of betrayal is palpable, with many feeling that they've been lied to and taken advantage of by the very people who were supposed to represent their interests. Tiffany is just like an Applebee's manager for the first time, one resident commented. Doesn't know how to be a leader. She thinks managing is about being a boss. It's not. It's a huge responsibility. What a joke of a human being. Matt, this kind of sentiment is widespread, and it's clear that Henyard's days of commanding respect or even basic trust are long gone.
But it saddens my heart that you are up here at this special meeting and not downstairs where we have big bingo.
The implications of Carlisle's betrayal are huge. If someone as close to Henyard as Carlisle is willing to turn against her, it's only a matter of time before others follow suit. The dominoes are starting to fall, and as they do, the full extent of Henyard's alleged corruption and misuse of power will likely come to light. But what about Henyard herself? How will she navigate this rapidly deteriorating situation? Will she continue to fight, doubling down on her denials and attacking her detractors? Or will she eventually be forced to step down, admitting defeat in the face of overwhelming evidence and public outcry? The answers to these questions are still up in the air, but one thing is certain: Henyard's once iron grip on Dolton is slipping, and it's only a matter of time before she faces the full consequences of her actions.
Mayor Henyard is in a situation where she feels like she's under attack.
As this story continues to unfold, the people of Dolton, and indeed those watching from the sidelines, are left to wonder, how deep does the corruption go? How many more secrets are waiting to be uncovered? And perhaps most importantly, will justice finally be served, or will Henyard manage to escape the consequences of her actions once again? In the end, the tale of Tiffany Henyard and her crumbling empire is a cautionary one. It's a story of power, betrayal, and the lengths people will go to protect themselves when the walls start closing in. But as the investigation continues and more people come forward with their own stories, one thing is clear: this is far from over.
Deep debt, and that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
So what do you think? Is Carmen Carlisle genuinely trying to do the right thing? Or is she just trying to save her own skin? And how much longer can Tiffany Henyard hold onto her position before everything comes crashing down? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay tuned for more juicy details and explosive revelations.